This video will cover everything in Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 1. I'm sorry this video has taken so long to come out. This honestly should have been out before Season 4 Part 2 started, but hey, that's life, so try my best. But thank you for 200 subscribers, that is freaking amazing. I can't believe 200 people actually give enough of a to watch these videos. So thanks. But yeah, if you haven't watched my previous Attack on Titan summaries, check them out, they lead perfectly into this. Or just watch the anime, I mean, that's probably the better option. And let's just get into the video. On the other side of the sea, Marley is engaged in a war with Middle East allied forces that has been going on for 4 years.
The war started after it was discovered that Marley lost the Colossal on female Titans.
In their final offensive of the war, warrior candidate Gabi Braun,
Yes, she's Reiner's cousin.
cleverly destroys an anti-Titan tank, allowing the Titan warriors to enter the fray. Through the help of Porco Galliard, the Jaw Titan, Peak Finger, the Cart Titan, Reiner Braun, the Armor Titan, and Zeke Jaeger, the Beast Titan, the nation of Marley managed to defeat their enemies. Although, as the technological advancements of the Middle East made clear, the era of Titan domination would soon expire, putting the pressure on Marley to finally recover the founding Titan. Zeke is allowed to speak at a meeting of the military generals and suggests that they revive the Paradise Island operation, giving him one last chance to succeed where he failed 4 years prior.
It's also his final year as the Beast Titan, before he dies.
On the train back to the Liberio internment zone, while Gabi is being hoisted up for saving countless of her fellow Eldian soldiers, Reiner motivates Falco Grice, another warrior candidate, to work his hardest to earn the mantle of Armored Titan in order to save Gabi from the dark future that awaits them.
Good luck catching up, buddy. She's way ahead of you in the rankings.
When they return home, Reiner has dinner with his family, where his rather ordinary tales of his time on Paradise Island worries them, especially his mother and Gabi. The Titan warriors and the Beast Titan's successor, Colt Grice, have a meeting, where Zeke informs them that the Tiber family will soon make an announcement to the world at a VIP packed festival in the internment zone. The announcement being that within a year, Marley will control Paradise Island.
The Tiber family possess the Warhammer Titan, and have great influence for driving out King Fritz during the Great Titan War.
Reiner then has a flashback of the time when he and his friends were warrior candidates themselves. Being the worst of the bunch, his only redeeming quality was his loyalty to Marley and his hatred of the island devils.
But he was chosen because Marcel, the former Jaw Titan, influenced Marley in choosing him over his younger brother.
Warrior Titans and their families become honorary Marleyans, and Reiner went to inform his Marleyan father that they could finally live together as a family, but his father was appalled with him and told him to keep out of his life. Then, their mission to Paradise Island started when they were children, but once they lost Marcel, their leader, Annie and Bertolt were set on returning home. Though Reiner was purposeless, after learning that his inheriting the Armored Titan was a fluke, he found his resolve and managed to rally his companions. When the flashback ends, Reiner is on the verge of taking his own life, but he comes to his senses when he remembers that he still has people to live for. Meanwhile, Falco becomes friendly with an Eldian hospital patient, who asks the young warrior candidate if he could deliver messages to his family for him.
What a nice kid.
The patient turns out to be Eren, and after thanking Falco for sending his letters, he finally meets his grandfather, and his regret over his familial choices drive him crazy. Soon after, the festival in the Liberio internment zone kicks off, and the young warrior candidates enjoy themselves in a mishmash of cultures the likes of which they've never seen. Little do they know, they are soon to hear the planned declaration of war from the beloved Willy Tiber, the head of the Tiber family. As the crowd await Tiber's appearance, Falco drags Reiner to meet an old friend in the underground of the stage, and the former 104th Cadet member is shocked when he sees Eren prepared to transform. As Willy Tiber begins his speech directly above them, Eren, Reiner, and Falco listen in on the revelations. Tiber reveals to the public packed with foreign dignitaries that King Fritz was the one who stopped the fighting and saved the world during the Great Titan War, and he schemed with the Tiber family to fabricate the Marleyan hero, Helos. King Fritz retreated to the island in order to enjoy some peace with his people, but was willing to accept his fate and surrender the founding Titan should anybody come for him.
What a puss.
Willy Tiber reveals that the King of the Walls is no more, and that Eren Jaeger is threatening the peace the Fritz family tried to protect. Should he use the founding Titan's full power to set in motion the rumbling and release the millions of Titans within the walls, then peace will be no more. After listening to all this, Reiner begs Eren to end his torment by killing him. Then he transforms into his attack Titan and shocks the crowd watching the announcement of war as he swallows Willy Tiber whole.
Willie and Commander Magath were expecting this, so they decided to use the festival as a way to unite every nation against Paradise Island.
Then, Willie Tyler's sister Laura transforms into the Warhammer Titan and kicks off a battle with the Founding Titan's usurper.
Clearly Hajime-san was watching a bit too much Green Lantern when he wrote this.
The Warhammer Titan seemingly pushes Eren to defeat, but before she can deal the finishing blow, Mikasa shows up and blows her nape with several thunder spears.
She's horrified that Eren would kill children and civilians, though.
The rest of the Survey Corps arrive with her and wreak havoc upon the nation that tormented them with waves of Titans for so long.
Hey, nice new outfits though.
The Warhammer Titan regenerates, then Mikasa draws its attention, while Eren figures out its secret. He transforms back into his Attack Titan, grabs the hardened crystal that Lotta Tiber is encased in, and prepares to eat it. Then, the Jaw Titan finally enters the fray,
He and Peak were tricked into a trapping pit before the announcement started.
and attempts to bite Eren, but fails due to Levi's timely intervention. The Cart Titan then in turn intervenes to save Porco, and Zeke soon enters the fight as the Beast Titan. Just as it seems that Marley have their enemies trapped and surrounded, their fleet is devastated by Armin when he transforms into the Colossal Titan. Furthermore, Levi sneaks up on Zeke and slices his nape, while the scouts surround the Cart Titan and render it useless for battle. Eren then discovers the Jaw Titan's capability to bypass hardening abilities, and uses it to break the crystal Lotta Tiber is encased in, which allows him to drink her blood and gain her powers. The Jaw Titan is seemingly the next victim, but Gabi and Falco's screams awaken the unconscious Reiner, and he uses the last of his strength to save his comrade. At this point, Eren decides to retreat upon the incoming airship, driven by the show's first attempt at diversity, as the fighting winds down.
His name is on Yakopon, dick.
Meanwhile, Gabi chases after the airship, seeking revenge on Eren for causing two of her best friends, Udo and Zofia, to die.
Also because she's been taught all island Eldians are devils.
And after she takes out a straggling soldier, she finds an opportunity for infiltration. Whilst most of the troops celebrate their first victory over Marley, Gabi, with Falco in tow, boards the airship and gets the jump on the celebrating soldiers by shooting Sasha through the stomach.
No, you can't do this.
Gabi and Falco are mobbed by the soldiers, then taken to the front of the ship, where they see Eren and Zeke chained up. Hanji remarks how Zeke's plan worked, as they now have both the Founding Titan and a Titan with royal blood on their side. However, Eren making himself a hostage to be rescued caused the scouts to lose trust in him. Finally, Connie comes to report that Sasha has passed away. And Eren seems to be somewhat remorseful. Or not remorseful. I really don't know with this one.
I just thought you should know. Her last words were meat.
Once they return to the island, Armin visits Annie, who is still crystallized, and discusses the events of the past 3 years with her. 3 years ago, the first of Marley's scout ships arrived at the island following the failed Paradise Island operation led by Zeke, and was captured after one of the Marleyan soldiers, Yelena, agreed to cooperate with the scouts.
This is the one that trapped Peak and Porco. According to Peak, she's a devout follower of Zeke.
Yelena and the others who defected from Marley call themselves the Anti-Marleyan Volunteers, with the goal of freeing the Eldian people. They came by the will of Zeke, who had some requests of the island's government. As he possesses royal blood, a secret he's kept from Marley, Zeke wishes to meet with Eren in an effort to unlock the Founding Titan's power, awaken the millions of Titans within the walls, and activate the rumbling to threaten the world. Over the following months, the scouts captured each and every Marleyan scout ship that came to the island, and some level of understanding eventually developed between the two sides.
Yeah, but they still kept most of them in prison cells.
In present day, Sasha's friends pay their respects at her grave, including Nicolo, the Marleyan captive chef, whose cooking spoke to Sasha like none other. Sasha's parents then show up, and Nicolo offers to share the cooking that their daughter loves so much at his restaurant.
On the house, of course.
Meanwhile, Zeke is held captive by Levi and a host of soldiers in the forest of giant trees, and Eren is held in an underground cell to repent for the lives his recklessness cost.
Why you being such a perv, dude?
Another flashback. Get used to these. 1 year after the Marleyans were captured, Paradise Island played host to its sole friendly nation of Hizuru. They came to outline Zeke's points to help protect Paradise with the rumbling, and to meet Mikasa, the lost descendant of their nation's ruler. Zeke's 3 points included using the rumbling to scare off their enemies, strengthening the island's military to render the rumbling unnecessary, and then passing down the Founding Titan to somebody of royal blood. Though Historia agreed to bear the burden of producing heirs, Eren was furious with the terms, and soon after disappeared for 2 years to Marley, which led to the present circumstances. I skip this, but you should really watch this railroad scene. Back in the present, Eren's friends are discussing his unrecognizable behavior, and the possibility of having to take him out should he prove to be their true enemy. Elsewhere, Gabi and Falco escape from their prison cell after Gabi bludgeons the guard, and they are found by Kaya, the girl Sasha saved from a Titan years ago.
You remember? This one.
She leads them to the Blouse household, and they lie about being brother and sister that ran away from home, as they then share their first meal with island devils. They end up helping out around their barn, and after Kaya reveals that she knows the pair are from Marley, Falco has to stop Gabi from killing the young girl. Kaya then leads them to the place where her mother was eaten by a Titan, and argues with Gabi over why she needed to suffer and die in that manner. After the situation is diffused by Falco, Kaya offers to take the pair with them to Nicolo's restaurant, where the Marlians there could help them find a way to return home. At the capital, members of the Survey Corps are confined for leaking intel to the public about Eren's detainment, which led to some public outcry.
He is the hero of Eldia, after all.
Yelena reveals to Commander Pixis that she met with Eren in secret before he infiltrated Marley, without the knowledge of the volunteers, who are all under detainment for suspicion of treachery.
Onyakopan speaks to Hanji about how ruthless Yelena has been in the past.
Armin and Mikasa go to Premier Zachary to ask for permission to speak to Eren, but he denies their request on the basis of the belief that he is being manipulated by Zeke. Soon after leaving the meeting, the Premier's office is blown up, and once the protesting public see the display, they feel even more motivated to showcase their disapproval of recent government decisions. Then, as the military leaders meet discussing the possible culprits of the bombing, word reaches them that Eren has escaped his cell as he joins his loyal followers, or Jaegerists, in finding Zeke. With Commander Pixis assuming command, he decides to use Zeke's location to negotiate with the Jaegerists to avoid further bloodshed, as some of the scouts head to a location where Yelena had secured work for Marlians. As a result, they visit Nicolo's restaurant to investigate, but it also happens that Gabi, Falco, and the Blouse family are also there. Gabi and Falco ask for Nicolo's help, but after he finds out that Gabi was the one who killed Sasha, he attempts to hit her with a bottle of wine, but Falco gets in the way and gets knocked out. He then drags Gabi to the Blouse family and offers the father the chance to get revenge for his daughter's death, but he decides to put down the knife and save the child from the perpetual cycle of revenge.
Kaya tries to kill her, though.
The scouts bear witness to the incident, and Mikasa and Armin escort Gabi to another room, as the young warrior candidate is mortified and confused as to why they don't just kill her. Nicolo tells Hanji to rinse out Falco's mouth, as some of the wine that is only served to high-ranking officers may have gotten in it. Wine that contains Zeke's spinal fluid. Then, Flock and the Jaegerists arrive, hold the scouts hostage, and discourteously ask for Zeke's location. In a nearby room, Eren meets with his two oldest friends, shows them the scar on his hand, and demands that they keep their hands on the table. Eren accuses Armin of being influenced by Bertolt's memories, and tells Mikasa that he's always hated her because her Ackerman blood has made her a slave to the instinct to protect her king.
Except in her case, the king she had to protect was mistaken for Eren.
Still, what a dick.
Armin then swings at Eren for the first time in his life, but his best friend returns the favor tenfold as he takes them into custody and has them escorted to a cell in Shiganshina. Meanwhile, Zeke explains to Levi that if subjects of Ymir ingest his spinal fluid, he is capable of turning them into titans via his scream, which is how he transformed the residents of Ragako village all those years ago. Then, after word reaches Levi of the Jaegerists uprising, Zeke makes a run for it and screams, transforming all 30 of his guards into titans.
His guards all drank the wine with the spinal fluid. All except Levi, that is.
Be like Levi, kids. Don't drink alcohol.
However, Levi grudgingly kills all his comrades, catches up with Zeke, and blows him out of the Beast Titan.
Another flashback, who would have thought?
As a young warrior candidate, Zeke was the worst of his class, lacking the drive his father so desperately tried to instill in him. Though Grisha tried his best to make his son enthusiastic about the restoration effort, Zeke just wanted a normal father-son relationship. He eventually found what he was looking for in a man named Tom Casaver, a Titan researcher, and then vessel of the Beast Titan. Zeke overheard that the military had leads on the restorationists, and though he tried to convince his parents to stop endangering themselves, they wouldn't listen. Mr. Casaver managed to convince Zeke to report his parents, and therefore prove his loyalty to Marley, which he did so. Years later, Zeke learned from Mr. Casaver that the Founding Titan can change the anatomy of Eldians, leading Zeke to wonder whether it can be made so that Eldians cannot bear children. He was encouraged by Mr. Casaver to set in motion his euthanization plan and was told that the possessor of the founding titan must be someone he trusts in order for it to work. Then, years later, Zeke met with Eren when he infiltrated Marley, and the two brothers agreed to carry forth the Eldian euthanization plan together. In current day, Zeke is remembering all this whilst being Levi's captive, with a thunder spear tied to his neck, and he risks his life in order to escape captivity by triggering the explosive.
He then has one of his titans protect him in his stomach. Also, Flock and the scouts nearby heard the explosion while being led by Hanji to Zeke's location.
In Shiganshina, every soldier gathers, but are forbidden to oppose the Jaegerists by the command of Pixis, who has become Yelena's captive.
Ah, how the tables have turned.
Below the city, Eren's so-thought closest friends are under arrest, among others, and they are visited by Yelena, who tells them about the euthanization plan. Meanwhile, above, Eren tells Gabi to use the radio to flush out intruders within the walls. But before that can happen, Peak infiltrates the room, holds him at gunpoint, and threatens to kill him. Eren calls her bluff and Peak yields, then stating that she would side with Eren should his goal be to crush Marley and free every Eldian. Eren demands that she prove her loyalty, and she agrees to rat out her comrades, though when they get to the roof and Eren asks where the enemies are, Peak points back at him. Then, the ground below Eren crumbles, and the Jaw Titan takes a bite out of him, though not enough to finish the job, as Eren is able to transform into his Titan. Finally, Marley's airships are seen approaching, with Reiner and the military aboard, as the final battle is about to get underway. And that is the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm recording this right now at 2 a.m. I'm tired. So just, if you want to like the video, that'd be great. Subscribe if you're new, all that crap. And if you do, I greatly appreciate it. So take it easy, good night, and peace.